Let me ask you a question that perhaps no one has ever honestly asked you yet. Do you wake up in the morning, stare at the ceiling for a few seconds before grabbing your phone, and feel that familiar weight on your chest? That subtle mix of anxiety and resignation that arrives even before you check your notifications? That feeling that the month will be tight again, that the bills will pile up again, that you'll reach the 25th, doing the same old calculations trying to figure out where the money went. If you felt this way upon hearing those words, you're not alone. I'm speaking to millions of people right now, intelligent, hardworking, dedicated people who are living this exact reality every day. People who do everything right. They work hard, save what they can, try to learn new things, and yet they feel like they're running on a never-ending treadmill, unable to truly move forward. And now, on top of all that, there's a new pressure. A pressure that appears everywhere on social media, in the news, in work conversations, in family WhatsApp groups. The pressure that you need to understand artificial intelligence. That if you don't learn to use AI now, you'll be left behind. That the future belongs to those who know how to use these tools. But when you try to research, what do you find? An avalanche of contradictory information. Gurus promising passive income in 30 days. Expensive courses that seem designed for software engineers, not for normal people. Videos with glaring thumbnails promising you'll become a millionaire using a prompt on ChatGPT. And amidst all this noise, you can't distinguish what's real from what's an illusion, what works from what's marketing, what's for you from what's for a completely different reality. And then what happens? You close another tab, you give up once again. You go to sleep with that bitter, familiar feeling that the world is changing too fast and you're being left behind. I know how much it hurts. Not because I read about it in a book, but because I've been in that exact place, with the same doubts, the same confusion, the same mix of hope and discouragement every time I tried to understand this new universe. But today is different. Today, in this video, I'm not going to sell you a dream. I'm not going to promise you'll get rich overnight. I'm not going to use technical terms that make you feel stupid. What I'm going to do is something much more valuable. I'm going to show you the map, a complete, honest, direct, and human guide on how to use artificial intelligence to create real extra income in 2026. With real-life opportunities, a step-by-step process that anyone can follow, and the clarity you needed from the beginning, but never found. So, if you've made it this far, I ask one thing of you. Stay until the end. Don't skip to the part that seems most interesting. Don't watch it at double speed and miss the details that make all the difference. Stay here with me from beginning to end, because this could literally be the video that changes the trajectory of your financial life. But before we continue, one quick and important thing. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. Hit the red subscribe button and activate the bell to receive notifications. Because here, there's no beating around the bush, no vanity content, no posts just for algorithms. Each video is a concrete and practical step for you to build a more solid financial life using the tools that are available today. You won't want to miss what's coming. Subscribe now and let's continue. Now, before we get into the opportunities themselves, I need 2 minutes to tell you who I am and why you should trust what I have to say. Because in a world full of internet experts who appear out of nowhere promising to change your life, you have every right to be skeptical. I'm not a tech genius. I'm not a former Silicon Valley executive. I'm not someone who had privileged access to secret information that nobody else has. I'm someone who spent years in the field studying, testing tools, making costly mistakes, adjusting approaches, and learning what works and what doesn't when it comes to using AI to generate real-world income. And throughout this journey, I developed a skill that has become the foundation of everything I do here. The ability to translate the complex into the simple. To take concepts that seem impossible to outsiders and transform them into steps that anyone can follow regardless of their education, age, technological background, or how much money they have available to start with. Because the biggest problem I see in the AI education market isn't a lack of content. It's a lack of context. It's a lack of humanity. It's a lack of someone who looks at the camera and speaks the language of the person on the other side, who understands that the person watching doesn't need to become a programmer. They need a practical solution to a real problem. Each opportunity I'm going to present today will have 3 layers. First, the pain it solves the concrete problem that exists in the market and creates demand for this service. Second, the emotion behind that pain because people don't pay for services. They pay to stop feeling something they don't want to feel or to start feeling something they want to feel. Third, the practical solution, what you do, with what tools, for whom, and how you start. And throughout all of this, I'm going to use something that's worth more than any statistic or market data. Real testimonials from real people who came to me with the exact same questions you have right now. Because nothing builds more confidence than seeing that other people have been where you are and found their way. Let's go! Opportunity 1. Lead generation with it. I'll start with a universal truth about business that never changes. Regardless of the era, technology, or market, every business needs customers. It always has. It always will. The owner of the dental clinic wakes up worried about the empty schedule for next week. The newly graduated lawyer doesn't know how to find his first cases. The personal trainer who just started her business doesn't have money for expensive advertising and doesn't know how to reach people who really need what she offers. The local gym sees its membership rates falling and doesn't understand how its competitors are getting clients. This problem is an old one. The frustration of not knowing where the next customers will come from has existed since the first merchant opened the doors of their establishment. But the solution to this problem has become completely new with artificial intelligence. Today, with the tools available, anyone can set up a sophisticated automated lead generation system, identifying ideal potential customers for a specific business, collecting verified contact information, enriching that data with relevant context, and delivering a qualified list ready for the sales team to work with. A task that previously required hours of manual research per week can now be set up once and run automatically. One comment I received was from a salesperson with 12 years of experience who wrote, "I spend half my day manually searching for contacts. If someone could do that for me consistently and with quality, I would pay without hesitation." This comment received over 300 likes because every sales professional has felt exactly the same way. Tools like Clay, Apollo, combined with automations in Make and N8N, integrated with language models, allow you to create this system. You can charge per delivered list, per monthly package, or per result. And the market for this service is practically unlimited because every company in every niche has this problem. Opportunity to voice agents. Have you ever called a company, waited on hold for 20 minutes, and when they finally answered, the person couldn't help you with even the most basic problem? That moment of frustration, you felt that urge to hang up and never call that company again is the same feeling your potential clients' customers experience every day. And that feeling costs money. It costs lost clients, damaged reputation, opportunities that go to the competitor. For dentists, doctors, lawyers, therapists, gyms, salons, for any business that depends on scheduling and telephone service, every unanswered call is money left on the table. AI-powered voice agents solve this problem definitively. These systems automatically answer calls with a natural and fluid voice, understand the context of the conversation in real time, accurately answer frequently asked questions, schedule appointments directly in the business calendar, qualify leads, and transfer calls to a human only when truly necessary. And they do all this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, without breaks, without bad moods, without variations in quality, and without overtime costs. A dentist left a comment that perfectly sums it up. "My biggest problem is that I lose patience because no one answers the phone when I'm in consultations. I've lost clients who never came back, and I'll never know how many." This pain exists in every clinic, every doctor's office, every professional practice in the country. Platforms like Bland AI, Retail AI, and Vappy allow you to create and configure custom voice agents without writing a single line of code. You learn the tool, customize it for the client's business, connect it to their existing calendar or CRM, and charge an initial setup fee plus a recurring monthly fee. Predictable revenue, satisfied client, real problem eliminated. Opportunity 3. Here's a tension that every content creator and every company with a digital presence knows intimately. You know, you need to be everywhere at once. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, podcast, newsletter. But creating original high-quality content for each platform requires an entire team or an amount of time that simply doesn't exist. And the practical result of this tension? Creators who record incredible 2-hour videos and post them once a month because they don't have the energy to process and distribute them. Companies that invest in video production but end up with content concentrated on a single channel, losing reach on all others. Coaches and consultants who have valuable knowledge trapped in recordings that are never reused. AI-powered content repurposing solves exactly that. You take a long piece of content, a recorded lecture, a podcast episode, a live stream, an interview, and use AI tools to automatically transform that content into dozens of different formats optimized for each platform. The long video becomes 10 short clips with cuts to the most impactful moments for Reels and TikTok. The transcript becomes 5 in-depth posts for LinkedIn. The main points become a thread for X. The strongest quotes become CODs for Instagram. The audio becomes an edited podcast episode. The complete content becomes a weekly newsletter. One piece of content, dozens of formats. Consistent presence across multiple channels, without the creator needing to touch anything beyond the original content. I received a comment from a creator who wrote, "I record a 2-hour lesson every week, but I don't have time to edit, transcribe, and distribute it across all channels. I would pay someone well to do this for me consistently and with quality." This service exists. You could be the one to deliver it. Tools like Opus, Clip, Descript, Cast, and automated workflows with ChatGPT make this process almost completely automatic. You can serve multiple clients simultaneously with monthly packages, scaling revenue without proportionally scaling the time invested. Quick pause here because you're halfway through the opportunities, and I want to know how you're doing. Hit the like button on this video now. It helps the algorithm show this content to more people who need exactly this message. And in the comments, tell me, of the 3 opportunities you've seen so far, which one made the most sense for your situation? Lead generation, voice agents, or content write it below. Opportunity for AI-powered trading bots? I need to be completely honest with you before we get into this opportunity, because this is the area where most people get burned, not because the opportunity isn't real, but because expectations are completely distorted by irresponsible promises spread across the internet. Automated trading with artificial intelligence bots is real. It's profitable, and access to this technology has never been as democratized as it will be in 2026. But it's not free money. It's not a magic machine you turn on and go to the beach while the money falls into your account. It's a sophisticated skill that combines knowledge of the financial market, strategic logic, competent use of specialized platforms, and perhaps most importantly, and most underestimated, emotional discipline to avoid interfering in trades when the market goes against you. What has radically changed with artificial intelligence is the technical barrier to entry. Platforms like 3 and API integrations with advanced programming language models allow you to create, test, and operate automated strategies without being a professional programmer. You can backtest your strategy with years of historical data before risking a single real penny and optimized parameters systematically instead of intuitively. A follower told me, "I have money saved to invest, but I always make emotional decisions and lose money. If there was a system that completely removed emotion from the equation, I would use it today." That's exactly what bots are for and how they work. Beyond trading on your own, there's a growing and lucrative market for consulting and setup services for other investors. People who have capital but lack technical knowledge pay well to have their bots configured and optimized by someone who knows what they're doing. Learn, document your results, and you have a high-value service to offer. Opportunity 5: AI Consulting for small businesses. This is the opportunity I consider most accessible for those starting absolutely from scratch, and at the same time one of the most profitable in the medium and long term. And the reason is simple. The gap between what AI can do for businesses and what business owners actually know about AI has never been greater. Think about the current scenario concretely. Today in Brazil and around the world, there's a huge number of small and medium-sized enterprises whose owners know because they've read about it, because they've heard about it, because their competitors are doing it that. They need to adopt artificial intelligence in their processes. They know they should be using it. They know that those who don't will fall behind. But when they try to research how to do this, they find too much technical content, solutions that are too expensive, and consultants who speak the language of technology but not the language of business. That's where you come in. You don't need to be a programmer to be an effective AI consultant. You need to know the available tools, understand how the basic processes of a business work: customer service, marketing, sales, operations, finance, and have the ability to identify where artificial intelligence can save time, reduce costs, or increase revenue for that specific business. A business owner left a comment that I'll never forget. I know AI can transform my company, but every time I try to research it, I end up more confused than before. I needed someone to guide me in a human and practical way, not more technology to understand. This is the perfect customer, and they exist in every city, in every neighborhood, in every market segment. The business model is elegant. You start with a free 1-hour diagnosis, mapping the company's processes and identifying where AI can help. This builds trust and demonstrates value before any financial exchange. Then you charge for the implementation of the identified solutions, and later for the maintenance, updating, and expansion of the systems over time. It's a long-term relationship that generates recurring and growing revenue. Opportunity 6: cybersecurity. And we've arrived at the opportunity with the most explosive and consistent growth of the coming years. An opportunity that exists because the advancement of artificial intelligence has created not only possibilities but also entirely new threats that companies are not prepared to face. With AI, cyber attacks have become more sophisticated, more personalized, more frequent, and exponentially harder to detect than they were just 2 years ago. AI-generated phishing emails that perfectly mimic a co-worker's handwriting, voice deepfakes that trick employees into transferring money, automated attacks at scale that continuously test system vulnerabilities. The threat landscape has radically changed, and the vast majority of small and medium-sized businesses are completely unprotected and uninformed about the real risks they face. There are two parallel and equally lucrative paths here. The first is offering digital security, auditing, and protection services to small businesses using AI tools to identify vulnerabilities, configure protection layers appropriate to the client's size and budget, and create basic digital security policies. The second is education and training, because the weakest link in any security system is not the software, it's the human being. Training teams to recognize and respond to AI-generated threats is a service with growing demand and excellent margins. An HR manager left a comment that perfectly illustrates the pain. Our company was the victim of a phishing attack, and we lost critical customer data. After this experience, I would become obsessed with finding someone trustworthy to help us never go through this again. This pain is real. It's expensive. And the market for those who solve it is huge and still underserved. Before getting into the step-by-step guide, I want to do something that I consider essential and that few content creators have the courage to do with true honesty. I want to stop talking about numbers, markets, and opportunities for a moment and talk about people, about real stories, about the journeys of people who are exactly where you are now with the same doubts, the same fears, the same paralysis and who decided to do things differently. Because at the end of the day, what transforms information into action isn't logic. It's not statistics. It's identification. It's looking at a story and thinking, this person was just like me, was where I am, and succeeded. If they succeeded, I can too. The first comment is from an administrative analyst with 8 years of experience at the same company, who wrote, I always knew I needed extra income, but I always thought using AI was something for programmers or people who studied technology. After watching your content, I set up a lead generation service for dental clinics in my city. In 45 days, I already had 3 clients paying recurring monthly fees. The most shocking part was realizing how much I was underestimating my own ability to learn new things. This comment sums up something I see repeatedly. The biggest barrier isn't technical. It isn't financial. It isn't time-related. It's mental. It's the deeply ingrained belief that this is for other people younger, smarter, more connected people. Feesung. The second comment came from a public school teacher, mother of 2 young children, who perfectly fits the profile of someone who doesn't have time for anything else. I cried watching this video because it was the first time someone explained all of this in a way that made real sense to me, without making me feel stupid. I started offering content repurposing services to 2 coaches in my city. Today, it's my extra income every month. I do everything while the children are sleeping. I didn't have to quit my job. I didn't have to take out a loan. I didn't have to take an expensive course. Think about what this woman did. Without quitting her job, without initial investment, without prior technical knowledge, just by applying a clear method in the time she had available. The third comment is from a 22-year-old recent graduate who is facing the harsh reality of not being able to find a job in his field of study. I was completely discouraged after sending my resume to over 80 job openings and not being called for a single interview. I decided to try AI consulting for small businesses in my neighborhood. I started by charging a low fee just to gain experience and build my portfolio. Within 3 months, I was earning more than the salary I wanted from the jobs that didn't even call me for an interview. The fourth comment completely stopped me when I first read it. It's from a 54-year-old who wrote, I was convinced it was too late for me, that artificial intelligence was for young people, for those who grew up with technology in their hands. My son showed me his videos, and I decided to try it, even without much faith. Today, I configure voice agents for medical clinics in my region. I have 7 active clients. My retirement will be completely different from what I imagined would be possible. 54 years, 7 clients. A decision made without certainty, only with courage. There's no such thing as too late. There's only the moment you decide to stop watching and start doing. Hey, quick pause here before the step-by-step guide. If these stories touched you in any way, if you saw yourself in any of these testimonials, hit the like button now. It seems small, but it makes a huge difference in getting this content to more people who need exactly this message. And in the comments, tell me, which of these stories did you identify with the most? Write it, Ari. I want to know who's on the other side of the screen. The moment has arrived that sets this video apart from 90% of the AI content on the internet. Because listing opportunities is easy. What's rare, truly transforms someone's life. It's a clear, honest, and sequential path that leads from point 0 to the first real result. 5 steps. No romanticism, no false shortcuts, just what works. Step 1. Choose a single opportunity and commit to it. You saw 6 opportunities in this video and probably got excited about several of them. Maybe all of them. That's completely natural. They're real opportunities in real markets with real demand. But now I need to tell you something that goes against everything your brain wants to do right now. Choose one, just one, and commit to it for at least 90 days before considering any other. The greatest enemy of progress is not laziness. It's not a lack of talent. It's distraction, the attempt to do everything at once, which results in doing nothing properly. Every opportunity you pursue in parallel divides your energy, divides your focus, divides your learning, and the result is that you end up everywhere and nowhere at the same time. How to choose? Think about 3 simple questions. First, What do I already know how to do or have some knowledge of that naturally connects with this opportunity? Second, who do I know in my current circle who could be my first client or refer my first client? Third, which of these opportunities made me feel the most energized when I heard about it? Not which one seemed the most lucrative on paper. The intersection of the answers to these three questions is your opportunity. Write it down on paper now, not tomorrow. Now, while the video is still playing, step 2. Learn the minimum viable conditions to deliver value. Here's the mistake that destroys more potential entrepreneurs than any other external obstacle. The belief that you need to learn everything before you start anything. This belief disguises itself as responsibility. It seems prudent, it seems professional, it seems like the right way to do things. But in practice, it's a sophisticated form of procrastination. You take a course, then another. You read 3 books, you watch 50 more videos, and 6 months later, you're in the same place only now with more information in your head and less confidence than when you started, because you've learned enough to know how much you still don't know. The approach that works is different and radically more efficient. You don't need to learn everything. You need to learn enough to have an honest conversation with a potential client about their problem and how you can help. You need to learn enough to deliver a basic but real result for the first client. Everything else you learn along the way, solving real problems with a real client. For lead generation, dedicate a weekend to learning a tool, Clay or Apollo. Follow 3 YouTube tutorials. Create a test list for a specific niche you've chosen. This test list is your initial portfolio. For voice agents, create a free account on Bland AI or Vappy today. Follow the official step-by-step tutorial. Set up a working demo agent within 48 hours. This demo agent is what you will show to your first customers. For content repurposing, install Opus Clip. Take a long video or someone you knows. Process it. See the result. Understand the complete flow. You'll have a functional mastery of the tool in a day. The goal is not mastery. It's sufficient competence to generate confidence in a sales conversation. Step 3. Get your first client for free. This step scares almost everyone who gets this far. The word for free generates immediate resistance. It seems like you're devaluing your work. It seems like you'll never be able to charge later. It seems like a path with no financial way out. But I need you to understand something fundamental. Before you have paying clients, you need proof. And proof doesn't come from certificates, courses taken, or hours studied. Proof comes from real results, delivered to a real person in the real world. The first free client isn't a favor you're doing for them. It's a strategic investment you're making in yourself. Because when you finish that free work with a documented result, a concrete number, a video testimonial, a clear before and after, you have something worth more than any diploma. Evidence that your service works. Who is this first client? It doesn't have to be anyone famous or important. It could be the owner of the bakery in your neighborhood who always complains about not getting new customers. It could be the friend who has a YouTube channel but doesn't have time to edit and distribute the content. It could be the cousin who has a small clinic and loses patients because the phone is unanswered during consultation hours. It could be anyone in your current network who has one of the problems that one of these 6 opportunities solves. You offer help. You deliver results. You ask for permission to document and use it as a success story. And suddenly, you've had the most valuable asset a service provider can have. Concrete proof of real impact. Step 4. Create a simple offer and price it boldly. With the first documented result in hand, it's time to create an offer and start charging. And here lies a trap that catches most people at 2 opposite extremes. Charging so little out of insecurity that the work isn't financially worthwhile, or creating a proposal so complicated and full of options that the client can't understand what they're buying. Your offer needs to be clear above all else. It needs to be explainable in 30 seconds to someone who has never heard of the service before. It needs to have a clear deliverable, a clear deadline, and a clear price. Example for lead generation. You deliver a list of 100 qualified and verified leads from the client's specific niche with full name, job title, direct contact, and company profile. Every week, for a fixed monthly fee, the client knows exactly what they will receive, when they will receive it, and how much they will pay. Example for voice agents. You install and configure a customized voice agent that serves the business's customers 24 hours a day, automatically schedules appointments, and never leaves a call unanswered. One-time setup fee, plus monthly maintenance and update fees. Simple, straightforward, with obvious value. Example for content repurposing. The client sends you a long piece of content per week, and you return 10 ready-to-publish pieces with captions, cuts, and adaptations for each specified platform. A clear deliverable, a clear frequency, a clear price. How much to charge? Research the local market. Talk to potential clients about the value your service represents to them. Then choose a number that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable, not a number that makes you feel guilty. If you feel guilty about charging, you're almost certainly charging too little. Step 5. Scale smartly, not effortlessly. You have a customer, you have a documented result. You have a clear offer, you have a working process. Now it's time to scale. And scaling correctly means using artificial intelligence itself to build the business, not just to deliver the service. Use AI to create your prospective materials, outreach, emails, initial contact messages, niche-specific business proposals. Use AI to automate the repetitive parts of your service that consume time without generating proportional value. Use AI to create content that attracts clients to you instead of you having to go after each one individually. When you have 3 clients, you have capital to invest in better tools and more focused learning. When you have 5, you start thinking about systematizing and documenting the process to eventually delegate parts of it. When you have 10 active clients, you no longer have extra income, you'll have a business with recurring revenue, defined processes, and real growth potential. But that 10th client begins with the first step taken today. And that first step starts now. Now I need to tell you something with the complete honesty you deserve after staying here with me until the end. Everything I shared in this video is real. The opportunities exist. The step-by-step process works. The people's stories are true. But there's a temporal dimension to this conversation that I would be dishonest to ignore. In 2024, talking about making money with AI was brand new. In 2025, it was a growing trend. In 2026, it's becoming a reality that separates those who advance from those who stagnate. And in 24 months, the people who started today, who build portfolios, who have documented success stories, who have recurring clients, who understand the tools inside and out, will have such a consolidated competitive advantage that it will be extraordinarily difficult for those who start later to catch up. The market still has immense room for new professionals, but this space is not infinite and it is not permanent. Every week that passes, more people are learning, more niches are being filled, more clients are being won by someone who wasn't you because you were still thinking about starting. You can close this video now. Find it all very interesting. Save it to watch again later and continue exactly where you are. That's a valid choice. But if you do that, in 6 months you'll be watching another video exactly like this one, with the same familiar feeling in your chest, wondering why you haven't started yet. Or you can do something radically different today. You can grab a piece of paper right now, write down the name of the opportunity you've chosen, and commit to taking that first concrete step. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, because conditions will never be perfect. Today, the difference between people who transform their financial lives and those who forever watch others transform theirs isn't intelligence. It's not extraordinary luck. It's not a privileged background. It's not even time or available capital. It's a decision made in a moment like this, followed by a single step in the right direction. And you are just one decision away from a completely different life. Before you leave, and I need you to do this now, while the video is still on the screen, hit the like button. It seems like a small gesture, but it has a real impact. It helps this content reach more people who need exactly this message as much as you needed it today. In the comments, tell me something. What has been the biggest obstacle that has held you back so far from starting to use AI to generate income? It can be just one word: time, money, knowledge, fear, doubt. This helps me understand where you are so I can create the next content exactly for where you need to be. And if you want to continue this journey right now, if you want to delve deeper into one of these opportunities with a practical tutorial, a tested tool, and even more detailed step-by-step instructions, there's a video playing on your screen now. It picks up exactly where this one left off. Click on it. Keep going, because the financial future you want isn't waiting for perfect conditions. It's waiting for your decision. Until the next video.